Alright, Manny here, creator, owner, and lead instructor of Manny's fitness program, personal and group training at its finest. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to the MFP family. Glad to have you. Let's get right into it. I don't want to waste your time. You already know about the title that we're going to be talking about intermittent fasting. And the reason why I do intermittent fasting is because it controls my cravings, my appetite, and it also helps me feel full. So you have a certain eating window, and that eating window, you're gonna use it to consume your daily calorie requirement. As for myself, I consume around 1,800 to 1,900 calories a day when I'm cutting. So that's not a lot of calories, but when I do intermittent fasting and I have them at a certain amount of time, I get to have more calories. Basically, I feel more full and I feel satiated. Another thing with this is that it's not a magic pill. Just because you're gonna be doing intermittent fasting doesn't mean you're gonna be burning more body fat. It's just a tool that you can use so you can maintain a calorie deficit. If you're bulking, I don't usually recommend intermittent fasting because it's even more food that you're gonna have to consume in your eating window. So, but you can still do it. Let's get right into it. There's 4 steps that you must know in order for you to do intermittent fasting correctly. So let's get right into it. Step number 1 is knowing your intermittent fasting schedule. There's certain schedules that you can use, and we're gonna start from the hardest all the way down to the easiest. And the hardest is gonna be 24. You're gonna be fasting for 20 hours and then consuming your meals in only a 4-hour window. That means, let's say an example will be your first meal will be at 4 p.m. and your last meal will be around 8 p.m. So only 4 hours to consume the certain amount of calories that you need. As for myself, like I said, if I do the 24, then I'll be consuming 18 to 1900 calories from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So I'm gonna be eating maybe every hour after that. So the next one is gonna be 18-6, and that's gonna be a little bit easier. It gets easier as we go. You'll be having your meal a little bit earlier. I always recommend doing the intermittent fasting to where you end up having your last meal around 2 hours before bedtime. So the average person goes to bed around 10 p.m. So 8 p.m. will be your last meal. But if you need to make it earlier, you can just adjust your schedule however way you want to. So 18-6, again, it's gonna be fasting for 18, and then your eating window for 6, and then it goes to 16-8, which is the normal intermittent fasting schedule. 16-8, you'll be fasting for 16 hours and then having your eating window for 8 hours. That means your first meal will be at 12 a.m. or p.m. and then your last meal at 8 p.m. That's the one that I usually use, and my first meal is usually at 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. around that area. I'm not too strict to where I'm waiting for the exact time to eat. Like, let's say if my first meal was at 12 p.m. I'm not waiting at 11:59 a.m. for that minute to eat. So you can have a wiggle room around that. So 16-8 is the normal one that a lot of people actually use, and your first meal, like I said, will be 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. at night. And then we have the 14-10, which is even easier, having your first meal at 10 a.m., which is almost regular breakfast for somebody. The average person eats breakfast at like around 8 to 10 a.m. in the morning, and then you'll have your last meal at 8 p.m. So not only that, but there's all other forms of intermittent fasting, and that's like the OMAD diet, only 1 meal a day type of deal. 1 meal a day diet. It's not really a diet, just an eating window. That means you're gonna be consuming your food in 1 hour, and then you have 23 hours of fasting. So there's some people that are cool with that. I've done it before. It doesn't fit my schedule. I feel better just doing the regular 16-8. But there is that OMAD. There's other forms as well that I don't really talk about or even advise or recommend, like the eat, stop, eat type of deal, to where you eat one day and then you fast the next day. You eat one day and then you fast again the next day. You fast the 24 hours basically. So there's other ones if you want to research that, but I don't think I need to go that much in detail. If you do want me to go in detail on the other ones, like the OMAD diet, the warrior diet, the 5-2 intermittent fasting schedule, then let me know in the comment section down below. Other than that, that is step number 1, is knowing your intermittent fasting schedule. Let's go to step number 2, is knowing your daily calorie requirement. There's a certain amount of calories that you're supposed to be consuming although you're intermittent fasting. Just because you're fasting doesn't mean you're gonna be eating less food. You're still gonna eat the right amount of food. If you're cutting, then you're under your daily calorie requirement based on your workout and your metabolism. So as for me, I work out 4 days out of the week and my daily calorie requirements around 18 to 19 calories a day. And anything lower than that, I'll be under eating. Anything higher than that, then I'll be either maintaining or having a surplus calorie intake, which you can use for bulking. So know your daily calorie requirement. Don't just guess, because you can undereat and now you're gonna be wasting muscle. You're not gonna recover, repair, and heal properly from your workouts, or even have enough fuel for your performance. So make sure you understand your daily calorie requirement. I have videos on that. Make sure you go into my page and check out my latest video on knowing your daily calorie requirement. But let's move on to step number 3, is you can only drink water, black coffee, and green tea while you're fasting. Anything above 10 calories is gonna break your fast. It's still a give or take. There's science behind that, but again, it's still, there's a lot of wiggle room. It depends on your metabolism and all that. So it just depends. As for me, I always go based on 10 calories or more, or even 20 calories-ish. It's gonna break your fast, so you don't wanna break your fast. As soon as you break your fast, your body's gonna fiend calories. It's gonna start triggering your cravings, your appetite, and all that. So it's gonna be 10 times harder to continue your fast if you break it too early. So make sure you understand that black coffee, if you add any sugars or anything like that to your coffee, it's gonna break your fast, and you don't wanna do that. I myself drink water usually. I drink black coffee, and I'll have some green tea here and there, not too often, but those are the 3 things that you can take. Some people will talk about or ask if branched chain amino acids will break your fast, and it can and it can't, depending on the type of branched chain amino acids that you're consuming. If, like I said, if it's high enough in calories to break your fast, it will break it. So make sure you check the calorie amount. And number 4, last but not least, don't undereat. Okay, don't undereat. I have to make sure I amplify this. I know I mentioned it earlier with your daily calorie intake, but don't undereat. A lot of people have their eating window and they just eat a meal and they're full, but they still have other calories that they need to consume, and they undereat. So you don't want to undereat. You'll be going into catabolic state where you start wasting your muscle and all that, like I mentioned earlier. So those are the 4 steps that I want to make sure I share with you guys, and so you can know and how to do intermittent fasting correctly. I use it myself on a regular basis. I also do carb cycling. If you guys are interested in knowing my take on carb cycling, make sure you leave me a comment down below, recommend it, and I can cover that on one of my next videos. But other than that, this quick review is knowing your intermittent fasting schedule, knowing your daily calorie intake. You can only drink water, black coffee, and green tea, and do not undereat. Although you're doing intermittent fasting, do not undereat. Other than that, those are my final thoughts. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video on intermittent fasting. If you guys enjoy these videos, hit that like button. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and that notification button. That way you don't miss none of my future videos. You guys take care, be safe, be nice with each other. Always and forever, mind, body, and strive.